Hello. I'm guessing that you're pretty fucking bored. It's about week 3 of our coronavirus lockdown, and I'm pretty sure everybody's ready to climb the walls now. Except me. I'm absolutely fucking fine. I feel absolutely brilliant because I have grown up as a Jehovah's Witness and I am completely immune to boredom, because nothing in the world is as boring as being a kid in the Jehovah's Witnesses. Nothing in the world is that boring. Jehovah's Witnesses are a publishing company. They are Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, and so it's all about their publications. So if they had a new book to come out, that would get released at the convention. So I remember every year being quite excited about what's going to be released. Sometimes if somebody had been to a different convention down in England or something like that, because they were going to miss the one in Edinburgh, they would then blab and tell people about what the publication was. And I remember my mum getting really upset because she didn't like to know. She liked to be surprised and see what the society had decided, what Jehovah had provided for us, what spiritual food we were going to get to enjoy for the rest of the year. So when we got these books, we would then study that together as a group at the group level on the Tuesday night. And oh my fucking god, some of these books were just so incredibly boring and badly written. And even just the titles were boring. Paradise Restored to Mankind by Theocracy. God's Kingdom of 1,000 Years has approached. True Peace and Security, how can you find it? And these are all books that I remember coming out and studying as a group. So I've now got rid of all of my Joho books. I don't have anything written by the Watchtower Society in the house anymore, which is a little bit of a shame, because I remember, I think it was when I moved from England back to Edinburgh in 1999, we were going through books of, we're going through boxes of books and found some of the old study books. And the study books are a little bit like this. This is this is not one of their study books, but the study books are a little bit like this kind of size. When I was a kid. And what I discovered was that all around the edge of the book was kids' teeth marks, bite marks in the book. And as soon as I saw it, I remembered that I used to have this thing that I would do. And I had actually a whole distraction policy mapped out for the 1 hour of the group study. So I would keep an eye on the clock. And for the first quarter of an hour, I would section it into quarters. And for the first quarter of an hour, it was sit down, shut up and be good, because Mum is watching me like a hawk. So I learned after quite a while that if you get the first quarter of an hour out of the way quiet, you then get things relax and you can get a wee bit of stuff starting. So the first 15 minutes, nothing at all. And then I had this whole mental fantasy for the next 15 minutes mapped out on sitting in this sister's house. So this old couple were in Winchborough, outside of Edinburgh, was where we would go for the group study. And they had one of these living rooms that there wasn't a square inch of the walls that wasn't covered in ornaments. She loved her china plates, little china figurines. She had a couple of cases, glass cases, with glass shelves with all kinds of different china and souvenirs and ornaments from around the world, things that she'd collected, little cases on the walls of silver spoons, all kinds of shit all around the house. And I used to sit and look at it. And I remember that there was one of these branch things that was a souvenir from Switzerland, and it almost looked like a hammer. It was like a small wooden hammer, but it was actually made out of a branch. I don't know if you can imagine the kind of thing that I mean. Well, they had one of them above the fireplace in their house, and I used to sit and I would look at that. And when it rolled round to time for thinking about that, then I would imagine that I would walk over to the fireplace, just like during the group when everybody's there, and just take that this mallet thing down off of the wall, and then smash the fuck out of all the ornaments, just smash the entire place up. So I would sit for 15 minutes, I would sit and decide what I was going to smash first. I would be like, I think I would hit out those glass cases with the spoons in, just smash them first, and then swipe the mantelpiece in a big swipe out everything on the mantelpiece onto the floor. But then each of the plates that are on the wall, I would take them out one at a time, and I would just imagine this whole fantasy about how I would smash this woman's house up and wreck the entire living room. How great it would feel to take the mallet down through the glass shelves in the cabinet, and just the noise it would make, and I would just completely absorbed for 15 minutes thinking about smashing the house up. That was wonderful. I could still do 50 minutes on that just now, I think. That was great fun, and that was how I would pass the time for come the half hour. Toilet. I went through a while of going a bit too early, and then you're done. Then you can't go again. You only get one shot. So about the half hour, I would ask my mum if I could go to the toilet, and that meant I could stand up and walk through the room. And then I was in a different place. I was in the bathroom, and it would be kind of like check your teeth a little bit in the mirror. Maybe open the cabinet, see what medicines they've got, have a little try of their toothpaste to see if it's any nicer, and just passing the time desperately so I didn't have to then go and sit through and listen to this droning shit. So that was on the half hour, but you'd only get maybe 5 minutes for that before somebody would come looking for you, so then it's back through. And then what I would do is I would get my study book and see how much of it I could fit into my own mouth. And this is what all the bite marks around the book were. It was me shoving the book in my mouth, biting down, and then marking that, and then next week seeing if I could take a bigger bite out of it. So I'd be like, yeah, and I would mark that in, and then the next week I would shove it down as much as I could. And I was actually being quite scientific about it, because my thinking was, I'm growing, right? So in a week's time, my mouth should be a tiny little bit bigger than it is right now. So if I shove the book into my mouth, and I would do it on the corner and on the side and on the end, if I get as much of it in my mouth as I can this week, well then next week I should be able to get more. And then there'll come a point where that stops happening, and that's how I will know that I'm fully grown. And I remember thinking all this process out, and it was a little study that I was doing. And I would save that for the last little bit of the group. But I couldn't do it when people are talking. I would have to wait until the paragraph is read. So they would read a paragraph out from the book. I was actually going to include a paragraph in this video, but you know what? I will not do that to you, because I so thoroughly depressed myself looking through the book and finding passages to read out, it's just not kind. So I'm going to fucking leave that. And if you really want to find out, if you don't take my word for it, then look up some of the older publications from the 1970s and get a flavour of that language, because it is torturous. It's torturous to be exposed to. But I'd be so bored in the meeting that I would do this with my book. But I'd have to wait until the paragraph is being read out, and everybody's looking down at their books they're all reading, and I would start with all the book biting. And I just, as an adult, have thought back about when that used to be my entertainment, and imagined that if somebody's like looked up from their book and seen this kid across the room, they would just be like, this crazy kid like trying to shove the book down into his face. And they wouldn't know that I was doing it for science, that there was an actual scientific study going on. They would just see a kid shoving a book into his mouth. So anyway, that's a story or two, just to give you the flavour, if I can, about, just to give you the flavour, if I can, of how boring the meetings and growing up as a Joho was. So if you want, during this quarantine, as we're all in lockup, then maybe see if your mouth is still growing. You can give that little study a shot, or smash your front room up. That's the other option, especially if you can get hold of a little wooden mallet from Switzerland. Take care, be well. I hope I see you all soon, healthy and still sane.